Alright, welcome back, Year 8, to your second lesson on the civil rights movement, the African American civil rights movement. Your inquiry question, which was introduced at the very end of last lesson, was why has Robert F. Williams been forgotten? So always have that at the top of your page as we continue through this inquiry. There are only 4 lessons left after this one, so 6 lessons in total. Okay, so the optional research task that I set you all last lesson, it was about 2 weeks ago now, was to research the Ku Klux Klan. Now, the Ku Klux Klan were really a violent group formed in the southern United States after slavery was made illegal there. And their job was to terrorize the African Americans, the blacks there, to, in a sense, keep them fearful and in a position close to slavery, even though the law said that they were no longer in that way. This is the flag of the South. So when America went to civil war, the North wanted to end slavery, the South wanted to keep it going. Then the flag of the Northern United States is the flag that is the American flag today, but this was the flag of the Southern United States, and the flag is known as Dixie, because that's what the southern United States were called. And this state here, NC, North Carolina, is the home of Robert F. Williams, who is our focus for this lesson. And as you can see, it is in the South. All right, what I want you to do, I want you to go into the Teams folder to week 10 and open up video 1, V1 it should have in there. And I want you to watch this clip. All right, so play it the whole way through. It's a public information film from Mississippi, which is here. All right. So today we are learning about not just the KKK, but we're learning about the South, how people lived in the South in the 1950s and the 1960s. So what I want you to answer is this question: what was segregation? And then secondly, what impression does the film try to give you about how the system of segregation worked? Now remember, segregation it was the thing in between slavery and sort of equality. So after slavery, the KKK, the government of the South, enforced a strict separation of the two races, and that was known as segregation. But how does it present it in that film? And do you think it is a reliable view? Secondly, I want you now to start thinking about the 1950s. Of course, people will want to challenge this system. It is unfair. It is unequal. And if you are told that you live in a free society, as people in America were told in the 1950s, then you will say, we are not treated equally, and we will challenge this. And this is what happened in 1954 when Linda Brown, this is a young girl, she wanted to go to a certain school, but because of segregation, she was not allowed to go to that school. It was considered a white school. So this organization, called the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, took it to court. They went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court eventually decided that segregation in schools was unconstitutional. It was against the US Constitution, and this was a big turning point in American history. It's called the Brown decision. What I want you to do is explain why the Brown decision led to optimism, but also why it would still be a challenge. All right, so copy this down in your books, and then watch the video, and then answer that question at the bottom there. And then finally, once you've done all of that, I'd like you to play the third video in this lesson. Now we're coming back to Robert F. Williams. The year is 1958, 4 years after the Brown decision. This famous case happened in Monroe in 1958. What did the people in the situation do wrong, and how were they punished? So watch the video first, and then just try to understand what they did wrong and how they were punished. So pause the video, and then I want you to answer these questions in one paragraph. So what was meant by the color line, and how had Hanover Thompson and Fuzzy Simpson crossed the color line? And finally, why were their punishments so severe? All right, so you saw that Robert F. Williams was key. He was an important figure. He shows up in the kissing case. He is the one who actually makes it internationally famous, and he puts pressure on the governor of North Carolina to release these boys who have been unfairly imprisoned. So just answer that question. What did he do to help the boys? And secondly, would the traditional NAACP tactics, meaning going to court and waiting for a judgment, would that work well in the situation of the two boys. Explain why. And that's it for your lesson. All right. Please upload your work to today's assignment, and yeah.